Welcome to Dependable Flame, where we explore vintage petrol lighters, ashtrays, tobacconana, and other useful mechanisms. Make yourself at home. Today we have a vintage Brown & Bigelow Remembrance Windmaster advertising lighter for the Victory Life Insurance Company of Topeka, Kansas. This lighter has a really nice red painted graphic on a brush chromed finish lighter. Really cool lighter that seems to work very well. This lighter does have some blemishes, scratches, scuffs, has a dent in the lid. Maybe more than one, but there's definitely kind of a slow sloping dent right here toward the front of that lid. Some other dings, scratches. Overall though, a really nice looking lighter. Appears to have all of its paint. I believe that is an eagle in the center of the big V for victory. It's a really nice advertising graphic, and the way it says the Victory rather than just Victory Life Insurance Company for some reason reminds me of the old hymn Victory in Jesus, where the lyrics keep coming back and talking about the victory that we have in Jesus Christ. The spines and top and bottom of the lighter are a high polish finish, whereas the back and front are brushed chrome. Somewhere here to the back of the lid from an opening and closing. Definitely not a brand new lighter. Has plenty of scratches on the windscreen, which is prominently marked Windmaster with the registered symbol. A good bit of carbon and soot buildup in the ignition area, and you can see that the wick as well is pretty dirty, but still functions as it should. The lighter is marked on the insert and no marking on the case, as is typical for these Windmaster lighters. The felt pad is a little bit discolored looking, as well as the wadding. Fueled that up a couple of weeks ago when we published the short for this lighter. And of course, here a while back, by request of our buddy Gary, we did a little how-to on how to remove one of these lids. That lid is held in place by a spring, a leaf spring that runs along the top of the lighter and is riveted in there where the wick enters into the body of the lighter. And then it has a little hump on the back here of that leaf spring that fits over and traps this little pin, which then keeps it attached to the, well, I say the lighter. On these Windmasters, it is actually attached to the insert, and then the case of the lighter is simply a slip case. But this insert is in decent shape, especially for how well used it obviously is. Still has its plating. You can read the markings very easily. and it slips in and fits perfectly well. With these Windmaster lighters, their lids only going up to 90 degrees and not falling on back like the Zippo and other flip-top Petrol lighters do. Sometimes will make you feel like you need to tilt that lighter back to give the flame the space that it needs to ignite properly, get the proper mixture of fuel, air, and spark. And you can see that that flame is trying to reach back. I haven't put any more fuel in this lighter since I fueled it up. I said 2 weeks a while ago, but I don't know that it has actually been that long. It might have only been a week or so, and it actually looks like the lighter is still suffering from vapor lock. But that flame is definitely wanting to reach back into the lid. You run into that phenomenon from time to time. And that lighter's really heating up too. With that flame reaching back there to the lid, heating it up. But as I was saying as well, even if the wick was functioning as it should and not giving us that wonky flame, you still kind of need to tilt it to keep that lid from heating up, just because it is in such close proximity to the wick, and if you hold it straight up, it's just right there on the lid. So I don't re-wick or re-wad these lighters when I get them, even though I realize that most of them will need it if somebody is going to use them, simply because I also know that most collectors would prefer, when they buy a lighter, for it to be in original condition. And it's easy enough to change the wick in most of these lighters. This one specifically would not be difficult, so I will most likely go ahead and list this for sale, with the caveat that if the buyer would like for me to replace the wick, I can do so with the wick of their choice. I have IMCO wicks, I have wicks from the eBay seller David 2052. I have a bunch of genuine Zippo copper woven wicks courtesy of my buddy Gavin Lannon. I've also got the generic copper woven wicks from eBay. And I may have left a couple of options out. We'll just have to see what we have. But anyway, we can definitely re-wick this lighter. If that's the wishes of the buyer, just feel free to reach out to me. So this will be listed soon in the DependableFlame.com eBay store, which is facilitated through our website at DependableFlame.com/current eBay listings. Until next time.